What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get a pro level controller for under $85. Now you're probably asking yourself, Cole, what's pro level controller? Basically what I'm talking about here is like a SCUF controller, Battle Beaver, or just a custom controller in general that usually has buttons or paddles on the back of it, as well as a few other enhancements like adjustable analog thumbsticks. But if you're balling on a budget and you don't want to drop $250 on a SCUF controller, or you're like me and you just love playing video games and you love being competitive, but like you don't have aspirations to be a COD pro, then how do you take a standard controller like this PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller that also works for PC and turn it into a pro level controller with some of those modifications for a fraction of the cost? Well, I'm gonna tell you. So here we have the DualShock 4, basic, untouched, untapped controller. A couple things you'll notice right off the bat: analog stick height, short, stubby, long travel. Also, no buttons or remappable paddles on the back, just a very basic DualShock 4. Now, before we get into it, because this is a DualShock 4, it will work for PlayStation 4 and 5, believe it or not. I mean, if you have a PlayStation 5 and you're using one of these, I don't know. I mean, the PS5 controller is pretty dope. So, regardless, or a PC, because these will work with the PC. If you are on those systems, this video will work for you. And if you're on an Xbox, I'm sorry, but you're probably not going to get any information out of this video. But honestly, I don't want to hear it because Xbox has the Elite controller, which is arguably the best manufacturer-produced controller that has paddles, adaptive triggers, and freaking metal magnetic analog sticks. So you guys got it pretty awesome. And to be quite honest, if I was on PC, I would just get one of those. But if you're on PlayStation like myself, or you want to use a DualShock 4 for your PC, then this video is for you. So here we have the DualShock 4 in all its glory. Boring, short, single height analog sticks, no back buttons. So how do we make it better? With one of these. This is step one on how to upgrade your controller. This is the DualShock 4 back button attachment. And basically what this little thing is an attachment that you put onto your controller and gives you mappable buttons that you can attach to the back of your controller. And the best part is it has an LCD screen right here that you basically just like long press, and you can adjust what you want these buttons mapped to on the fly with no software. Now, the only thing that these buttons cannot be mapped to are R2 and L2, so like the big triggers. You can't make them those, but you can do everything else. And what's cool about this too, it has a gold-plated audio jack here so that you have mic and audio pass through, so that you still get the extremely reliable DualShock 4 connectivity to your headset, microphone, whatever. But literally, to install this thing, all you have to do is put it in here like this.
2 hours later. Many months later.
I think that's it.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Oh, there we go. And I turned it on. But what's great is once it's on there, you can actually just hit this button here and remap what you have it to. So I have it set to X and circle on this side for both of mine, but you can set this to virtually anything, and all you have to do is press and long hold and then just adjust what you want it to go to. But this little guy is just one piece of the puzzle. So now that you have the back buttons or the paddles taken care of, let's take care of these short, stock, stubby little analog sticks that have horrible travel and are not optimal for shooting games. Enter the completely modded gold controller. No, I'm totally joking. But this has the back button already installed on it. And then on the front, you'll notice that these analog sticks are a little different as well. Now, these right here are the Control Freak Galaxies. Now, Control Freak makes performance thumbsticks like this in a wide variety. I think they literally have like 30 of them. But these are the Galaxy variant. And these are designed for a first-person shooter, but their whole design premise is that they sit higher, giving you more elevated position for your thumbs, and also, because science, when these are taller, less movement produces more angle and kind of works on leverage.
I am the smartest man alive!
So this set, for example, comes with a mid-rise that you can put on your left side here. That's how you move. It doesn't have to be as finite or nearly as tall. That's just your moving forward directional. And then on this side, we've got the high rise, which is their most elevated thumbstick and gives you precise movement. I mean, you barely have to move this thing and you're already like 25% of the movement. And having a staggered setup like this is great because you have your movement over here, which is still high rise and finite, but then you have ultra fine over here, and you can really crank up your sensitivity in the smallest adjustments and movements will actually work really well, especially in first-person shooters. And these things just snap on, and they're super easy to install and super nice to use, and they just give you a little bit elevated and better control over any game that you play. So now we've got the back button installed, so we have our paddles or back buttons taken care of, and we have addressed the lack of adjustability on the thumbsticks by using a pair of control freaks. Now you're probably asking, well, Cole, how much does that actually cost? Well, to get you one of these DualShock 4, it's probably going to be anywhere from $50 to $60. Find a local GameStop. You can get these all day long for $50. So that's out of the way. Next up is the back button attachment. This guy right here retails for $20 on PlayStation's website. However, you can find it at various retailers for under $10. But this thing works fantastic at giving you good tactile buttons on the back of your controller. And then also, these control freaks are going to run pretty much $15 to $16 for any variation that you get. And I almost forgot, this is a kind of icing on the cake, little sprinkle on top, not necessary for the pro level controller, but also highly recommended. Investing in a good USB data transfer cable. So this here is a USB-A to micro USB, aka the charging cable for a standard DualShock 4 controller. However, you'll notice this one's braided for extra durability, and then it also has some aluminum fittings on here for extra durability. And this sucker, it's wrapped up, but this sucker is about 6 foot long.
That's what she said.
And what that allows for is gives you enough room to move around your desk, or if you're sitting and playing on a TV or something, you can also get a 10-foot variant. I think they even have a 15-foot variant as well. This is kind of that icing on the cake, because what a lot of people don't know is that a wired connection on your controller will actually improve the reaction or response time of the controller. And yes, we're talking milliseconds here. However, what I would encourage you to do is, if you do have one of these, go into your PlayStation settings or your PC settings and change your controller to transmit data over the USB cable instead of Bluetooth, and then go into your favorite game, play a couple games, mess around, hit the buttons, hit the triggers, hit everything, right? And then switch it back to Bluetooth and unplug it. And tell me I'm wrong. Because when I did that, the first thing that I noticed was I was slower when I was just on a Bluetooth connection. And it makes sense when you're going over air like that with a wireless connection, it's not going to be as responsive as it could be with a wired connection. Now, I know cables are not for everyone, and obviously we're in this next gen world where everything is wireless. But I'm telling you, if you do want to be a little bit more competitive, or you're just looking for that little bit of an edge over your competition in the games, this thing is worth it, especially because I got a 2-pack of these 6-foot braided heavy-duty cables for like $8. And I'll link everything in the description down below so that you guys get the best prices to everything. But that's it. That's how you essentially go from this base stock level DualShock 4 controller to a beautiful, gorgeous, and chonky pro controller with back buttons and adjustable analog sticks. And this is the best way that I have found to get all of the advantages of a pro level controller if you're balling on a budget. So thank you guys for watching. Drop me one of these on the video. And if you like this video and others like it, make sure and hit that subscribe button as well. And guys, if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, I mean, what are you doing? Thanks for tuning in, guys. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, peace.